Hey YouTubers! Hey, what's up YouTubers? Hey, what's Donald here. Today, I will be doing a Zelda history and timeline redo. So let's get on with it, shall we? With the intro. Okay, so let's start with the third game in the timeline, in the Downfall timeline, but it's the first. And let's go to the past with A Link to the Past. This game is set after Ocarina of Time in the Downfall timeline when the hero time is defeated by Ganon and Gandalf is sealed away. Years after, evil wizard tries to take the maidens of the sages. And it's up to Link to save the day. But he gets a telepathic message from Princess Zelda. But his uncle goes instead. Then Link follows his uncle, goes in a secret tunnel, sees his uncle injured. He takes his uncle's sword, saves the princess, takes her to the sanctuary, but he didn't encounter Agraham, the evil wizard who plans to revive Ganondorf from the sacred realm, which is turned into the Dark World. But in order for Link to save Hyrule, he must find the three pendants of virtue: courage, power, and wisdom. And then the Blade of Evil's Bane, the Master Sword. Once Link defeats Agraham, he gets transformed into the Dark World, where he must find the seven maidens, including Princess Zelda. And also the Triforce, which Ganon acquired when he killed the Hero of Time, Link to the Past's ancestor. This timeline is very confusing. But still, once Link saves the maidens, defeats Agraham once and for all, he goes against the Demon King, Ganon. But the Master Sword slices Ganon down, turns the Dark World, wishes on the Triforce to return Hyrule to the way it was and return the Dark Realm to the Sacred Realm. Link triumphs, splits the Triforce into three pieces, separating it from whoever tries to gain it again. But the Triforce, two pieces of the Triforce, one goes to the Princess Zelda, which is the Triforce of Wisdom, and one to Link, the Triforce of Courage. Now, let's talk about seasons. What am I talking about, you asked? I'm talking about the Oracle seasons. The second and third games in the Downfall timeline, which is the fourth and the fifth when they're released. Oracle seasons, Link gets a message from the Triforce, and he's transported to the land of Halodrum, where he meets a dancer who looks like the goddess Din, and she's the Oracle seasons. But he didn't plan out. When General Onyx comes to try and steal Din, he's working for Twin Rover, and the witches are from Ocarina of Time, Ganon's minions, who try to bring Ganon back. But once Link sees Din, he travels to the land of Lebrana, where he meets Lineru. She's the Oracle of Ages. Yeah, he has a bit of a problem on the way. He saves Nehru, and then if you have both games, get the secret ending. Trin Rover revive Ganon. Boy, he's a mindless beast. So Link just finishes him off for good. Now let's wake up from this seasons and ages to Link's awakening. When Link goes back to Hyrule, he's caught in a storm. He wakes up on an island called Killer Links. Weird island name, but happens to be all a dream. Only way Link can wake up is find all the instruments to wake up the windfish. But he has to sacrifice the island and its inhabitants in order to free himself. But once Link completes that task, it's off back to Hyrule. And the 18th game and the 5th in the timeline, years after Link Between the Link to the Past, a new evil rises in Hyrule. The form of Yuga, the Lorurian, the counterpart of Hyrule. And he plans to steal all of them, saves his descendants. Why, you ask? Well, what do you think? To revive Ganon again. Yeah, how many times has Ganon been revived? I mean, turns into a pig, he gets killed, revived, killed again, and revived again. But he didn't count on Link, who's a blacksmith in training. He gets the Pendant of Courage from Zelda. Then he goes find the Pendant of Courage and Wisdom into the Lost Woods, which is still the same from A Link to the Past. Finds the Master Sword, and with might pull, he draws the Master Sword. He's the rightful owner of the Master Sword, after all. Then he goes to Hyrule Castle, breaks the barrier, and stops Yuga from taking Zelda, but it was too late. So Link goes into the void with the ability of merging, becoming a painting. He goes to Lorule, where he meets Princess Hilda, Zelda's counterpart. But she's not trustworthy, for when Link saves the sages, gains the Triforce courage, goes back to Lorule Castle, defeat Yuga Ganon. Well, it was all been a trap by Princess Hilda. She wants the Triforce for her own world, because her Triforce has been destroyed by her ancestors. But Yuga swaps things around. He absorbs her with the Triforce of Wisdom. So with Link, with the Triforce of Courage and the Light Bow, he defeats Yuga Ganon and saves Lorule and Hyrule. Now, the 6th game in the Doubtful Timeline is Triforce Heroes. 5 years after the events of Link to Worlds, Link goes to Hytopia. Weird name, but they have no hero, only a princess who's been cursed to wear a suit that cannot be removed. So the king of Hytopia calls out every hero to come, but only one hero can do it. That is Link. Splits into 3. Goes to the land of Hytopia. Defeat all the dungeons and traps. To defeat Styla. No. Styla's the princess. Oh, the lady. Why is she called a lady? She must have a proper name, but she's called the lady. Link and his 3 other 2 counterparts, say Princess Styla, and known as the Triforce Heroes. Now, the first Zelda game, years after Triforce Heroes, Link goes out to find the Triforce of Wisdom, the 8 shards of the Triforce of Wisdom. in order to save Zelda. But Ganon's followers are after Link to get his blood to revive Ganon once again. But once Link gets the Triforce of Wisdom, defeats Ganon, everything turns normal. So, Link's adventure. Link goes out to find the Triforce of Courage, once and for all, to wake up Zelda from the curse. But Ganon's followers still go after Link. In order to revive their master, they must kill the hero, get his blood. But Link triumphs and saves Princess Zelda. At the end of the scene, he gets a kiss off her. Now, in the main timeline, let's go with the Ocarina of Time. This Zelda game is in the main timeline, which the three timelines split: child, adult, and downfall. Link is a Kokiri, or he was raised as one by the great Deku Tree, but one day the Deku Tree calls Link to help him to break a curse. Once he's done that, he gains the the Kokiri's fire? No. Emerald. Yeah. Which is a spiritual stone. Then tells Link to find the Princess of Destiny. Once in Hyrule, Link goes to Hyrule Castle after sneaking after past the guards. Jeez, couldn't even get past the guard. Them guards must be dumb. Once he meets the Princess Zelda, she tells him to go to find the other two spiritual stones, and she guards the Ocarina of Time. Once Link finds the spiritual stones of fire and water, something bad happens. Zelda flees Hyrule Castle, throws the Ocarina of Time in the water. She's being chased by Ganondorf, the demon thief, and Gerudo. Now you must be saying, wait, Ganondorf? You just mentioned Ganon. Yeah, Ganondorf and Ganon are the same person. But once Link obtains the Ocarina of Time, places the Song of Time in the front of the Door of Time, he sees the Blade of Evil's Bane, the Master Sword, along with Navi, his partner. Link draws the Master Sword and waits several years, but Ganon intrudes the sacred realm and steals the Triforce of Power. Link wakes up 7 years because he won the Hero of Time then. He goes out to a wasted Hyrule. In order to save Zelda and Hyrule, he must awaken the 7 sages. Or 6 sages. Zelda being the... No, 7 sages. With Zelda being the main sage of white. I don't know what she's sage of. But he meets Sheik, which is Zelda in disguise. And he tells him to go to every region of Hyrule, starting with the Forest Temple, where Link's old friend Zarya isn't there anymore. So Link plays Minute of Forest, and he awakens Zarya, then Darunia, Rudo, Impa, and Nibiru. After pulling the sword of the Master Sword from the Peril of Time, Link already awakens Rauru, the one who created the Temple of Time in the first place. Once Link does that, he goes to Ganondorf's tower, defeats him in an epic battle of Zelda tennis, bringing him with a light ball, so it's basically tennis. But Ganon doesn't give up easily. He uses all his remaining power to crush them, and once that fails, he turns into the Demon King Ganondorf, or Ganon. This is where the timeline goes into the downfall. Link fails, but I'm not talking about that anymore. I'm talking about when he triumphs. He slashes Ganon with a mighty stab in the forehead. Ganon's dead. Link goes back to his original timeline, and this is where the two timelines, child and adult. Let's talk about the adult one. Majora's Mask, the 6th Zelda game, and the first in the child timeline. Years after Ocarina of Time, Link goes to find Navi, but he bumps into the Skull Kid, who steals the Ocarina of Time, and turns Link into a Deku. Yikes! Talk about identity crisis there. But Link stumbles onto Termina, the counterpart of Hyrule. Link must have 3 days to stop Majora from bringing down the moon on over Termina. So Link goes out to the different regions of Termina: east, south, north, and west. Once Link gains the Ocarina of Time, plays a Song of Healing, he has the ability to turn into a Deku, then a Goron, then Zora. Link goes out to the different temples, defeats the guardian beasts, or the guardian deities that are stuck inside the masks. Once Link frees the first giant, because Terminians don't believe in the Triforce, the gods are the giants. So I don't know what's going on there. Link learns the Other Order. Ding! Once Link frees the remaining giants, he goes against Skull Kid, plays the Other Order. Skull Kid falls to the ground, but Majora doesn't give up easily. Once inside the moon, Link gives the masks he collected to mass Sailor children, but one remains, Majora, and he gains the Fierce Deity mask. Much more like an adult version of Adult Link. There's an interesting story there that he said that the mask, the Fierce Deity mask, is evil, but can it be really evil like Majora? But when Link puts the Fierce Deity mask on, he has the power of a god. He slashes down Majora, finishing him off, saving Termina. Then goes to find Navi again after leaving Tile. Now, the 7th Zelda game and the second in the child timeline, Twilight Princess. I actually like that game. It's a great game. Link is a farm boy in Ordana, but one day Barker Blades attack, summoning shadow beasts because Hyrule is in danger of being covered in twilight. Link gets turned to a wolf and meets Midna, the Twilight Princess, but she asks Link for help. Find 3 shadows trying to defeat Zant, the demon, the King of Twilight. Once Link gains his full body after freeing Hyrule from the Twilight, it does a turn cut. Zant puts a curse on Link. On a way to break the curse, he's finding the Master Sword in Old Hyrule out when he's been overrun by the Lost Woods. Link finds the Master Sword, pulls it out, goes in, finds the mirror pieces to the Mirror of Twilight, defeats Zant, but Ganondorf got into Hyrule. So when Link goes against Ganondorf, Ganon possesses Zelda's body, and Link must defeat her in order to get Ganon out. Ganon turns into his beast form, so does Link. Wolf against, I don't know what type of, I think it's a boar, but Wolf Link versus Boar Ganon. Link triumphs, Midna sacrifices herself. But Link Ganon doesn't give up. With one final battle against mortal enemies, Link stabs Ganon into his wound, killing him. Next is Four Swords Adventures. Takes place, actually, let's talk about Hyrule Warriors. I know it's not in the official Zelda timeline, but it's a Zelda game. Takes place after the Twilight Princess. Ganon, well, an evil sorceress, brings all the monsters from three specific Zelda games: Skyward Sword, Ocarina of Time, and Twilight Princess. Because she's jealous of Zelda having Link all the time. But Ganondorf comes, Link defeats him, and saves Hyrule once and for all. Next is Four Swords Adventures. After the events of Twilight Princess, there's a new Ganondorf, but he creates Shadow Link, who steals the maidens. Link must throw the Four Sword once again, splitting into four, but releasing Vati, the wind spirit. Once Link finds all the maidens, defeats Vati, then goes against Ganondorf. He turns into Ganon. Link seals him inside the Four Sword forever. Next, I will be talking about the adult timeline. After he invents the Ocarina of Time, Hyrule gets flooded because there's no hero to protect him from Ganondorf. We see Link on his birthday. Tetra, Lily of the Pirates, gets thrown into the forest of Outside Island. Link saves her, but his sister gets taken by the Hammerrock King. Link must go to save her. To the Forbidden Fortress he goes, trying to save his sister, sees Ganon, but he's in shadow. Link is thrown away and meets the King of Red Lions, who turns out to be King Daphne Hansen Hyrule, the King of Hyrule, the original king. Link finds the orbs of Din. Theor and Nehru. All three orbs in a place rises Tower of the Gods. Link completes the Tower of the Gods, gaining access to Hyrule, old Hyrule, where he sees a statue of the hero of time himself. Link pulls the Master Sword out of the pedestal of time, unfreezing Hyrule from its time lock. Link goes back to the Forbidden Fortress, tries to slay Ganon, but it doesn't work. The Master Sword lost its power to slay evil. So Link must find the spirit of earth and wind. Once the Master Sword is fully powered up, Link goes out set to find the Triforce of Courage. Once Link gains the Triforce of Courage, he is dubbed Link, Hero of the Winds. He goes against Ganon once and for all, but Ganon doesn't play fair. He knocks Link out, getting the Triforce, wishing for the Hyrule to be glory again. But King don't know how Daphne's no handsome Hyrule intervenes, tells Triforce to wash this land of Hyrule forever. Link, in an epic showdown, stabs Ganondorf in the head, turning him to stone, with the Master Sword lays to rest. Then they go, Link and Tetra go back up to the surface to look for a new Hyrule. Next is Fire Hourglass. After he the events of Wind Waker, they come across the ghost ship. When Tetra goes on, she gets turned to stone. So Link must find the great Ocean King, along with King Lionback, Captain Lionback. Link finds the Phantom Hourglass to gain access to the ghost ship. Well, Link faces off. I don't know the enemy of that game because I haven't played it. And Link gains the Phantom Sword. Captain Lionback tries to help, but he gets taken over by the boss of the final of that game. Link uses the Phantom Sword to defeat the evil being. I can't remember. I don't know his name. Then, freeing Tetra, Link and Tetra wake up, thinking it was a dream. Then go to a new land, which Spirit Tracks comes in. The third in the adult timeline. New Hyrule reigns glorious, connected by the Spirit Tracks to the Tower of Spirits. Link is a trained engineer in training. Once he gets his certificate from Princess Zelda, she and Link go and investigate what happened to the Spirit Tracks. Zelda's body gets stolen, and Zelda's a spirit. She and Link must restore the Spirit Tracks to the way they were. But in order to stop the Demon King, Malladus. Link restores the Tower of Spirits once again, gains the Compass of Light to enter the Demon Realm, where the Demon Train goes. Once there, Link frees Zelda's body, she gains her body back, and final battle. All the Locomoles join the power of Zelda and Link. Zelda aims for the weak spot on Malladus' back, so Link can have a clear shot. One final thrust into Malladus' forehead kills him. And Link trains to be a soldier, so he can look after the Spirit Tracks with Zelda. Let's go to the beginning of the Master Sword. Skyward Sword, very first in the timeline. Link is in Knighthood Academy. But one day, Zelda gets taken away by a storm. Link must go down to the surface, along with Fi, the spirit of the goddess sword. Once Link gains access to the surface, he meets Girahim, the demon lord. He tries to freeze his master. Demise, the very first Demon King, and the one who placed the curse on Zelda and Link and himself. But Link triumphs against Girahim. Link must, in order to see Zelda again, Link must temper the goddess sword into the Master Sword by gaining the flames of Din, Feor, and Nehru. From Feor, land of I've forgotten the name, and Nehru. Once the Master Sword is complete, Link uses a Skyward Strike to open the Gate of Time. Once there, he goes to see Zelda. She turns out to be the human spirit of Hylia, the very first goddess who created Hyrule and the goddess sword. She blesses him, turning the Master Sword into its full form. She goes in hibernation. Link must find the Triforce. Once he finds the Triforce, he wishes for Demise to be defeated. But Ghirahim has other plans. He goes back in time with Zelda, frees Demise, which is in imprisonment. Demise turns into his full form, and a final battle against good and evil. Link absorbs Demise's soul into the Master Sword, with fire can destroy him completely. Once that's done, Link must part ways with Fire, placing her into the Master Sword and herself into the pedestal of time. Link and Zelda stay on the surface to guard the Triforce. Next is the Minish Cap. Years after Skyward Sword, the land of the Minish, Hyrule has a festival to celebrate that day. But an evil Minish called Vati tries to look for the light source. He breaks the Picori sword. Link, along with Emslo, must repair the sword, which turns it into the Force Sword. When Vati notices Zelda has the light source inside of the body, he tries to take it, but Link doesn't give up. He's one final battle against Vati, stealing him inside the Force Sword. And that's where Force Sword's Adventure comes in. The seal with Vati breaks. Link and Zelda go to the Force Sword Sanctuary. Vati escapes, takes Zelda. Link pulls out the Force Sword and splits into four. Then goes out into Hyrule, solving dungeons, beating bosses, to get to the Wind Palace where Vati reigns. 4 Links against 1 Vati. Seals himself inside the Force Sword once again, sealing it. Now, let's talk about the new Zelda game, Breath of the Wild. This new game, I'm looking forward to it. It's the biggest Zelda game ever, according to Nintendo. Link wakes up from a 100 years slumber, but which Link is he? We don't know for certain. He wakes up to destroyed Hyrule. He sees the Calamity Ganon. At some point, Ganon, what the old man says, 100 years ago, Calamity Ganon just appeared out of nowhere. So Ganon must have gotten something in order to become the Calamity Ganon, destroy Hyrule, killing Link, and put him inside the Resurrection Chamber. But we don't know for certain how it's going to play out until next year. So, and if you don't have the Hyrule Story, get it. It tells you every single Zelda game. To Skyward Sword, that is. But that's it. I've been Hypersonic Gaming. This has been my Zelda history and timeline redo. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. And Zelda fans out there, believe in Link. Don't let Ganon win.